Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD BLACK Esports Club Pro League 4 Rainbow Six Siege, supported by Ubisoft and, of course, our broadcast partner, Booyah, here with their hosts, Blackjack and Foxtrot, and, of course, our match admin, Eisen, as we are here for day 2 of Division 3, the very second day of this final season of the Pro League. That is right. Div 3 will be finishing off week 1 tonight with 2 stream matches. Couldn't get the first one on stream, unfortunately, but of course we can get the final 2. That is starting off with Team Clickbait versus Spectre Gaming, going live on the screens in just a quick second right here, as we will be joining the players live in the ban phase, and it's going to be an interesting one because it's Cafe Dostoevsky. Been a while since we've seen this map, I should say, and with Spectre on the defense, of course, they're going to be the first ones to have a ban today. The first attacker to be banned, Thatcher. Once again, no surprises right there. Excuse me. And, when it comes to Div 3, you expect a Thatcher ban pretty much every single match, every single match. I mean, there's no real surprises. Yesterday actually was an R1 out. We had a Thatcher in play while it was a clubhouse game. I remember that. It was definitely very weird, to say the least. But regardless, an interesting change up yesterday. Not going to be the same case today. Thatcher will be joining Blackbeard. All right, that's interesting. Clickbait have decided to ban the Blackbeard. And, of course, Spectre Gaming, they themselves have, of course, shown us that they can use Blackbeard on the odd occasion. I still don't think, outside of maybe third floor, Blackbeard would have been something ridiculously powerful. But then again, his face shield is, again, that's just how I feel about him as an operator on this particular map. At the same time, it is Blackbeard we're talking about, so a ban might just be justified regardless of the map that we are looking at. Valkyrie will be banned from the side of the defense alongside the Mira. No surprises right there. Information gathering potential from the side of the defense will be crippled. And of course, Mira bans are just, at this point, we might as well say they are almost 100% for the matches in any competitive Rainbow Six game. I mean, Mira just gets bans every single game, or nearly every single game. What is it, like a 75% ban rate? What the graph showed last mid-season balancing patch. But of course, that's data from the past. Right now, we'll be looking forward to this round 1, going underway on third floor bar and cocktail lounge. But before we do, let's have a look at both the rosters that are in the lobby for us today. From the side of Team Clickbait, we've got Teddy Oi, Gunmaker, Super King, Zam, and Noxy. And from the side of Spectre Gaming, we've got Venetaus, Oreo, Pazu, Killster, and Noob. 6-pick out of the Twitch into the ace as the first round is now underway. And I've kept the man from the mic long enough. Foxy, how do you do on this fine evening?
First things first, thank you for that beautiful introduction into the match, Blackjack. And yeah, I do amazing. If you'd ask me, I'm very excited. Definitely coming back after a little bit of a break here into what is that we happen to do over here. That is, of course, this beautiful match that we will be witnessing as of now. Spectre Gaming and Clickbait. Both of these teams, I've talked about them before, just the way we happen to talk about these teams coming back to Division 3. You happen to think about this. Clickbait, they made their way in with relative ease, if I might say. Not exactly the easiest of things to do to make it out here into this division, but just the way you happen to see them here. It is, of course, very evident that with a roster like that, I think that was pretty expected on the outcome, what we were expecting to see from them. That being said, we'll be underway with round 1. We've already got Noob coming in with some aggression. I'm not sure. The Melusi, she's just trying to find somebody, or no, that's just random pre-fuzz. He's just trying to get lucky, I guess. Making his way back, and speaking of the operator picks, coming back to it, in fact, Oreo, in fact, he's actually a little too close to my liking. He might just get taken off. This is a very aggressive spot to be on, especially on Cafe. You've seen spawn peaks come out from this angle, but hey, they've got Clickbait on the other side. They're good on attack. They know exactly what they're doing, and they'll be looking to make calculated moves. Zam up with his Nomad. That is, of course, the air jabs that'll be coming into play. But quite interestingly, so usually we don't get to see the Nomad and the Gridlock coming out, the triple-double takedown, in fact. Or when it is, in fact, wait a minute. He's popped up a headshot somewhere. I'm not sure where, but he did manage to get Super King. And that is quite the shot. All right, that is apparently coming in from Skylight. So that must have been one hell of a shot. Super King admits it himself in the all chat. But as we happen to move closer, that little man count, that will not look so little towards the end of 4 versus 5 can turn into something ugly if you don't happened to stop them and dead in the tracks. We got a oh my god. Oh boy, that was just not expected. Such a disappointment for the man. Goyo will be going down in a very bad fashion. Honestly, that was not what he's expecting. But Gunmaker, staying true to his name, excuse me, and just be making sure he gets the better of him. But for now, that's just it. We've still got the push-up coming in from all of these attackers. They're trying to scatter around and find kills. There we go. Another one falls in, and that'll be from Killster. This is coming out to be a very weird round of attack. I'm not sure what Clickbait is thinking about this, because just the way we happen to see this, I don't see a structure. We're getting to see 2 kills come out of random positions. Honestly, there's just good positions made possible from the side of Spectre Gaming. But as we happen to move closer, I think it will come down to those dying seconds and some absolute performance. Oh, Killster trying to find another one, almost connecting as well. It'll just be another day to die for the man. The attack is making their way in that. I'm not sure who that is on the other side of this man's crosshair, but it'll definitely be interesting to see who does get taken away from him. Killster still looking to make this bullet hole his own. I'll not be seeing any pushes happen. 30 seconds remaining. It's a 3 versus 4, and the attackers really need to get some bodies down. A kill comes in, another one. In fact, that's a Killster. A double picking up from that bullet hole itself. That's quite the work that he's been doing. But Zam, oh, he's so confused. Not even to find the Jaeger. He's just going to walk around and run around. In fact, for now, it's just these gunfights. I think that's pretty much it. We're not going to see anything else. Gunmaker does happen to put a dent into the side of what the defense were trying to pull up. But hey, look at this. 3 seconds left. There's no diffuser. There's no way the plant happens, and Noob just happens to rub it in his face. Catching that on the instant replay, people will be seeing that first round of some absolute performance coming in from the side of the defense. Spectre Gaming really feeling overconfident, or is that just a mind trick that the side of Clickbait wants to play with them? We've seen them come out with better attack rounds. This was most definitely a letdown, but what I won't be forgetting out of this round is the Goyo missing his shots.
I mean, all things considered, I think we can give the man a bit of a break. It is a fairly lengthy drop from that piano window, right? So you can get disoriented, all in all, getting down onto the balcony. But even then, after that, the Vector still had half a mag to chew through. And unfortunately, that second half of that magazine, I don't think anyone can really forgive the man for. Regardless, of course, first location will now be the site of choice coming in from the side of Spectre Gaming on the defense, taking first round very comfortably. I must say, Clickbait looked very unsure of themselves, as if they didn't know what to expect from the side of Spectre. And this is a team that has fought Spectre a fair few times before mine. So for them to be caught off guard the way they were in that previous round, definitely a little bit on the unexpected side of things, but that could all change. It really depends on how Clickbait decides to approach these next few rounds, while Spectre Gaming, of course, how they how they set up their defense. For the time being, we're going to have a bunch of shotgun holes, the usual castle barricade locations on White Corridor, on the front side on Bakery. You know, we've come to expect this hold quite a bit, the extended hold on first floor. Plenty of lurk potential, rotations all over the place, onto Big Bakery, onto Red Carpet Hallway, out of Cauldron, into the White Hallway as well, just by the White Stairs. So plenty of room to work with for Spectre Gaming, plenty of room to run around and move around the map. As a flashbang already goes in, that's to burn out any ADSs on Small Bakery. And then, of course, you have 2 projectiles, the Air Jab and Ash's Breaching Round going in nice and quickly. Clickbait wants to make sure that at the very least, the utilities in these positions are taken care of as soon as possible. Something that definitely did not help them is that they lost early bodies while trying to do exactly that, clear out utility close to or inside of sight. And there were a couple of good shots in there. One has to say, Super King, who was playing Zofia in the last round, he got taken down by a fantastic SMG-11 shot coming in from Clickbait. So, from Spectre Gaming. So, yeah, all in all, they have to be a little bit careful of their positioning and just make sure they don't get caught up by some odd shots once again. New breaching ground going out onto the barbed wire inside of Pantry, as those footholds need to be watched. Meanwhile, first floor bars being droned out. Plenty of drone and utility works, but Gunmaker's going to go down first. Noob inside a Big Bakery. Looks like the man wants to make a play, and a play he will make. At least the first kill having been taken. Teddy, he's got a vertical line of sight onto the rotate, but not quite a large enough line of sight to actually make too much out of that. More breach charges going off above. Venetas has to be pretty careful. Super King still hasn't made his way up there from the sounds of things. He finally will. And now those Jackal scans will come in, as of course will that secondary shotgun, the 12S. Sam in the meanwhile, P5 is coming towards his window here. Noob's gonna find one more. Noxie off the board. The Jaeger's popping off right now, and it seems like he wants more. The ace is off the board. Another huge drop. Hard breacher gone. But with these rotates that Spectre Gaming has, Clickbait, if they're able to take control of even one, they could gain a line of access into sight. The question is, can they actually take control of any of these avenues, if at all?
No, you're almost happening to lose his head over there. I could see a pre-fire coming in, but Noob is the one who's grabbing all the attention right now. The Nomad's air jab. But 2 people down, it's still not stopping him from making that headshot. Oh boy, what a flare coming in from the man. Does happen to delete Super King out of the way. Won't be his day today. It's back in a 1 versus 4 that Spectre Gaming have put themselves up, and quite the dominating performance once again. Not what you usually get to see from them. Clickbait looking very, very shaky. In a 1 versus 5, that is most definitely not going to happen. 9 seconds left. No diffuser and no head connected to Zam's body as well. Venetas does the job towards the end with that quick headshot coming in from the SMG-11. Yeah, the diffuser as well. So, all in all, a great defense round if you talk about how that went for the side of Spectre Gaming. But it does come back to that little discussion about Clickbait. Are they having a repetition of what they did the last time around? Not being just being able to survive, and more than that, being able to be very dominant, making so much more noise, going through the qualifiers. But once you happen to enter the division stages, it takes a lot more from you. And is that one of those phases again that we'll be getting to see from the side of Clickbait, that they're just not able to put up the performance when it comes to matter the most? That is right now. That is in the division table. That we'll be looking to see them maybe make some amends to it. It's still only 2 rounds into the match, and most definitely does not amount to any conclusions that we can draw from. But just the way as this goes, Clickbait is definitely looking shaky. We've seen the side of Spectre Gaming take advantage in a very good man count always. The first round, the second round, in fact, just happening to give more evidence to the statement that I'm trying to make. A flawless round, near flawless round coming in from the side of Spectre Gaming. So just the way as we happen to move ahead onto round 3, the side is going to be a little shaky for the side of the defense. It most definitely does happen to require so much more manpower, so many more strategies, and just so many more turnarounds and workarounds. It will be another opportunity for Clickbait to try and make amends. We'll be seeing the top floor hold come out from the side of Spectre Gaming once again. This very standard stuff. And it most definitely is very refreshing for me to see Cafe come out after quite a while, now that I think about it. Because just the way this map happens to offer that huge reconstruction potential, does happen to change the way you happen to play it. Excuse me there. I'm going to quickly buffer my words and take a sip of water. Meanwhile, Blackjack, I'll be asking you a counter question, but wait a minute. What a headshot coming in from Super King. That does happen to shut him down, and that was in fact the revenge shot as well for the man who took him out the last time around with that quick flick. Super King takes none of it and answers one right back. A very good shot coming in from the Zofia. We'll be setting ourselves into a very nice energy into this round.
Oh, most certainly. I have to say, Foxy, I was not expecting Super King to get away with that. Noob had a pretty tight angle on that coat room window. Even then, Super King proved to be too much. Looks like he's not having any of it, not tonight. At least not from this round onwards. Maybe there's a sign that first kill being taken by Clickbait could be what they need to start things off. A good starter, if you will, as a Killster. Okay, interesting decision to throw out that C4 early. As you will see somebody on the rappel right outside Train Museum. Couldn't quite connect. That's Gunmaker on the Ash. But Tato is going to find him instead. Coming from around, that's the door of the Red Stairs corridor. Now suddenly it's a 5v3. Spectre Gaming put onto the back foot. Definitely looks like Breeding Room might not be their site, but Teddy has something to say about that. Oreo in the meanwhile, that was not a good peek to do, my guy Venetos. Okay, need to be careful in that situation. Zam's gonna take a ton of damage. He's actually gonna go down, and Gunmaker, he's watching that cross, baiting the downed Hibana. And that will lead to the death of Venetus in this. Meanwhile, Pazu missing his shots, and Super King will shut him down. Does he know that the last one's on white? Says he does, but Oreo will take his second. Now he's got to ace it, but he won't. Too low on HP to contest that to completion. as he ended out trading with Teddyoy from the looks of it, as is evidenced by the fact that Gunmaker has the kill cam despite not being the one to affect the end of the round. The triple kill to Oreo the Malusi. Unfortunately, he was the only one getting kills in that round. The rest of his team, kind of just fell apart after that first kill went off onto Noob. So it looks like Clickbait might have found a little something that they might want to do, i.e., take Noob down first, because he's the one often making the plays. At least this match, in these first 3 rounds, he's tried to make the first play, and 2 out of 3 times he's done it. The third time, unfortunately, was not the charm for the man. Oreo with the 6-pick out of the Goyo into the Malusi. Interesting decision. As third floor bar and cocktail lounge will come out. The castle in play once again from the side of the defense. Spectre Gaming. 2 rounds up. Now, of course, it's just a 1-round buffer between them and Clickbait. And Clickbait has a pretty good chance, I'd say, of equalizing. However, harkening back to that first round, it really started off with, once again, a beautiful SMG-11 shot onto Super King. That didn't really help, given that their Zofia went down first. That's a lot of utility clearance that was taken out by the side of Spectre Gaming, right? So, obviously, they want to preserve all of their lives, for the most part. Every single operator that we are seeing in that equation is heavily important to the way Clickbait plays, right? But I have to say, something I'm noticing, especially from the end of previous season 4 that is, when Clickbait was in the in the bottom 3 of Division 2, now coming into Div 3, demoted, looking to make amends for their unfortunate outing in Season 4. They seem to be a little bit more on the defensive these days. And I say that, as a bit of an observation, as Clickbait used to be a team that was pretty good on the attack back in Season 3, Div 3. They took attack first, knowing that they could take those rounds back to back, and they did. They were a very fearsome Division 3 attacking team. It seems like they've had to rear in that aggression quite a bit for maybe some different strategies that they're trying to pull off. Maybe they want to apply something else to their team coordination, the way their team plays around. But Venitas is going to start things off again. Venitas, I should say. I've been pronouncing him Venitas for the longest time for no reason. But Teddyoy is off the board. The Hibana gone. That's your more versatile hard breacher gone. And unfortunate, as Clickbait will once again lose the first body of the round.
That's another body drop now. In fact, the first one, Teddyoy, not the only person I would see getting taken down. And just like Blackjack happened to talk about it, we've got the hard breacher taken down. It will come down to Noxy, having to put in a little more work, but just the way I happen to see it, we're not getting to see the side of Clickbait really go for that breach, just happen to attempt plan. The round is getting over a little sooner than that. It is coming down to Spectre Gaming getting the better of them, but so far, that's been the case. We've seen a little bit of a dent in the momentum that Spectre Gaming were trying to gain. Let's see if Clickbait will be able to capitalize it or not. So far, not looking so good. But Super King might just be the man who will need to make that difference. Still staying on the top of the cigar launch. He's got to make the push, and he will. What? I'm not sure. All right, so I would have drawn that. I think I would have drawn that. But Killster walks away with a second. All right, that was a quick shotgun kill, double for the man. Killster definitely coming out very strong with the shotgun plays, and just the shotgun shells, all of them being somehow being in his favor. Somehow when I shoot, the shotgun does not connect. But hey, Killster getting the better of them, just kidding around here. And I'm not sure how was that supposed to work. The shield should have been spotted with the drone works coming in. And even if the shield wasn't that, it's just a little weird to look at, You come back to Division 3, it is a little weird, most definitely. 10 seconds left. Zam once again, the man who's left alive. Not a whole lot that he can do. He's really being ambushed by the side of the defenders right now. They're just having fun. They're just toying with him. He knows that. They know it. And we know it too. That'll be the end of this round, people. Round 4 goes to Spectre Gaming. Once again, and very well played, in fact. Now that you think about it, the defense is really getting the better of the side of the attack, and it's showing.
I think the fact that it's showing it's not just that it's showing, that these things are happening. It's also showing in some very telling ways, if you will, for Team Clickbait. Why I say that is primarily because, again, just like Foxy said, that shield should have been spotted, should have been taken care of. Even if not, it should have been a little bit better of a turnaround situation for the side of Team Clickbait. And even then, they seem to lose the engagement in some rather unfortunate ways. And that's kind of been the trend with Team Clickbait. It was especially, especially more potent, if you will, against Div 2 teams in the previous season, where Team Clickbait seemed to really either, be getting tunnel visioned onto different objectives that they needed to do, or something or the other seemed to be really affecting them as a team. And it seems that that has carried over into Division 3 this season. Not a good look for the side of Team Clickbait, I will say this, but it is Cafe, a map that we often go back and forth on, whether it's defender-sided or attacker-sided. It can honestly go both ways. But Clickbait might have something to show us on the other side of Rollstorm. Right now, they're going to need to try and make it a 3-3 going into round 7. That way, at the very least, they won't have a deficit, not a huge one at the very least, going up against Spectre Gaming. Spectre, on the other side, of course, we know them as a team. They are definitely one of the more well-rounded Div 3 teams, if you ask me. They've had their issues with inconsistency, which is their main, their main bane, if you ask, if I do say so myself, right? But when they perform pretty well, I would say. Pazu deciding to peek small bakery window quite a bit as the drone will come in nice and quickly. All right, quite a few missed shots right there. No problemo. It's only a drone after all. The main reception door gets broken as Zam wants to try getting in there. Could be somebody by Coach Check. He's got to be careful as Tedio gets taken down by a C4 of all things. That's Noob once again. And Tedio once again the first to drop. Another pre-play C4 goes off. That was the Kaid's one, but Oreo only took a little bit of damage from his own C4. Not too good for the man as Gunmaker is going to take damage from Prep Room. Again, these angles, these lines of sight, the footholds, the rotates that Spectre Gaming are utilizing and emphasizing on really seem to be doing a number on Team Clickbait. One that we didn't see happen back in Season 3. This is arguably the same Clickbait that we saw back then, but even then, it's not looking too good as Noob and Pazu will fire off, finding two more. Suddenly it's a 2v5. Zam and Nazi, last two standing. The ace finds one, gets taken out. Now it's all down to Zam. He's gonna down onto Venatus. But of course, as the air jab goes off, it's gonna signal that Oreo was, thrown flat on his back for a few seconds. He'll get up nice and quickly. Zam too low on the health to really contest a lot, especially when it comes to one-on-one gunfights. And given that Spectre Gaming there, they seem to be kind of swarming the location of the Nomad right now. Shots fired. Noob can't quite get it off. But of course, you have the run out coming in. There we go. Venatus kind of angry that he got downed by the Nomad, will be the one to finish her off. As we will see in the instant replay, Spectre Gaming making quick work yet again of the side of Team Clickbait, who seem to continue to fall into these they are literally getting caught in pitfalls, if you will. They lose one body, they lose everyone very soon after, especially in that last round. And again, we've kind of already touched on the fact that it could be down to a whole lot of things: positioning, lack of droning and whatnot. But at the end of the day, we can only say so much. We don't have access to their comms or whatnot after all. Maybe towards week 3, the end of the season, we can get in touch with a couple of members of Team Clickbait, really ask them what's going on or what was happening in week 1. After all, we don't know what will happen in week 2. It's a big unknown point for us. Week 2 is usually the most exciting one of the bunch as well. Bar week 3, week 3 usually has the most stakes. But those stakes are set up in week 2. So I would argue that week 2 can be a bit more exciting if you're really looking at the long run for the season. And teams usually are. So, they try their hardest in week 2. And as things start to settle, the dust settles, if you will, in week 3, things can be made a little bit less complicated, less, based on if X team loses and X team wins and whatnot. We do still have those, but not as much as you see them in week 2. And unfortunately, I think we just saw Noob fail to catch the drone of Teddy. That's a little unfortunate. All our Mozzie mains in chat will know the feeling of just barely missing out on you know, on the drone that's like right in front of you. It's really unfortunate. But anyway, Spectre Gaming, of course, won't be missing that too much. Clickbait, like I said, they haven't been doing a whole lot of droning today. And their clearance as well, while it was somewhat there initially in the first round, maybe the second round, it's really not been there. They've just been taken out time and time again, and there's only so many ways I can repeat that sentence with different words without eventually ending up saying the same thing. Drones coming in this time around on that top floor, as action phase, of course, has already begun. And Spectre Gaming, meanwhile, they're doing the same setup, I believe, that they had in the round previous, i.e. round 3, where they went to the same site. And Super King's going to take a bit of damage. That's, of course, from a goo mine on red stairs. He's got to be careful, though. Goes down a Claymore. And with the 2-minute mark coming in, Spectre have plenty to look forward to, I'd say.
They most definitely do, but I think it'll be Clickbait. We'll be looking to make some changes. Killster, man, already starting things off. That'll be the first frag coming off the board. That's right, people. TEC, man. TEC once again being the first person to get taken off from the side of Clickbait, man. It is a little sad, you know. I've talked about this quite a bit. TEC has been my personal favorite as a player, but wait a minute, Killster is having his own highlight clip here going on. 2 frags already. He's definitely been quite the influential player. Oreo, okay, that's quite the ballsy play coming out from him. Noxy will be the one to take the fall for it. Ventus just coming in, but not so helpful. But I think it's a thought that counts. A quick rotation for his teammate. We still got Super King up top, and he's making some moves. He's going to be getting noob for now, and that is, of course, a very influential kill that he's just gained. That's not the site. That's right. The site will be below, and that means Gunmaker and Super King will be making their way downstairs a little slower than later. Venator's coming in with a quick rotate. That'll be the drop and a quick rotate from the side of the freezer. Once again, that'll be making and reconstructing right now. But wait a minute. The Jaeger, he's getting caught off guard. Killster will not be having more of his highlight moments. Not after that. Looks like Super King is angry and he's looking to make this round his. Aoreo going for that C4. Now the best of positions to blow that on will be a wasted one. We've still got 30 seconds and counting down. Venator's spotting exactly where Super King is playing. But like I said, Super King is having none of it. The triple King is here. The King is out here looking for his 4th, which he will. Might as well call him Super Emperor right now. You know, just the way we happen to go with it. King of good times and Emperor of good times. Never mind. Coming back from it, a good attempt from the side of the defense, but Super King was more than enough. That's all Clickbait needed, and that's all that round consisted of. Round 6 goes to them, and that was a good first half, in fact, for a conclusion from the side of the attack. Definitely a great attempt from the side of Clickbait, but it could not cross that little bar that Spectre Gaming looked like they're set for them. Worry not, we still will be heading into round 7. That means the second half is still underway for the side of the defense. Now that is, of course, Team Clickbait to make some amends, maybe put some rounds on board. We might even be looking at the equalizer right now. That is, of course, Bar and Cocktail Lounge will be the first side coming in from them. 3rd floor is where we'll be going to. This is Cafe. This is what we expect, and thank you very much, Eisen. We've got Killster coming up on the top kills along with Noob. That's, of course, the top 2 that I'm talking about. Super King will be following up with them as well. So we've still not got a whole lot of work happening in the scoreboard, not at least distributed, but the people who've been getting kills, oh boy, have they been getting some really crispy ones. We did see some good kills come on, and I think it's more than that. We did see some influential plays happen as well. So that's just it, man. But coming back to what I was trying to convey, TEC, not the best of positions to be in. Always the Hibana and always getting taken down, and it's just a little weird. I happen to see TEC in his prime time, just happening to land every shot that he came across. Very weird to see call his name out, especially knowing that he's the one who's gotten taken down in the beginning. Usually not what you would expect out of TEC. A fight goes down, TEC is the usual survivor, but it's getting a little tiring coming out to him being, oh, all right, Super King, he does not stop. He takes down Oreo. That was quite the shot coming in from the Mozzie, and another one follows up. Zam gets a freebie. Venatus takes the fall. That was quite the not the greatest of attempts from the side of Spectre Gaming, not being able to read into something so simple, but yet so fatal. That will be a 2-man advantage for the side of Clickbait to start on. And like I said, This is Cafe. This is the second half. And I think the defensive team wants to make some moves.
Oh, they want to make some moves. That is very evident from the way they're playing right now. And the first two bodies being dropped, Venitus and Oreo. From the side of Spectre off the board. They still have Pazu, Killster, and Noob, mind you. So some of the playmakers are still alive. Of course, by that I mean primarily Noob. He's going to have to step up to the plate, but with the Oryx and the Jaeger holding inside a piano, it's going to be a little bit difficult as Noob's actually going to find somebody. That's Gunmaker. Off the board, the Melusi gone. That could be the beginning of a path to some sort of equalizer, some sort of comeback in this round itself. They're going to need to make a mini comeback, if you will. A 3v5 situation made a 3v4. Droning into piano, they're going to need to find those two operators, the Oryx and the Jaeger. Hideo and Zam, there we go. One of them has been spotted. That's Zam, mind you. I don't think Hideo's position has been given away, which could make for a very uncomfortable push into this this site that they're trying to emphasize on. And Spectre's gonna need to be careful of this Oryx lying prone right next to him. I don't think that that Noob actually knows, and Teddy is just waiting in the wings, but no, he's gonna peek instead. Oh, he does know. He's gonna take him down, and Zam gets a double in the meanwhile. That's another huge drop, and the Jaeger has just made things just a little bit harder. Bathroom Selma goes off as Zam is so low on HP, he could get taken down, if you will. But for the time being, he won't be, as just a little bit extra room has been made for the Satisfactory Gaming. They need to get in there though, and most importantly, they need to start thinking about the plan. But with only 2 players remaining, they need to at the very least equalize the man count here and now if they want to have a chance of winning this round. Killster swinging wide on the balcony. I wouldn't advise that. Noob goes in towards Cold. He will be seen. I believe there's somebody holding in there, as some is a lot of damage is done actually, and Zam was gonna find him, and now it's all down to the Ash. Killster, last man standing, gets one, but he's only got 2 seconds to make this work, and he will not even be alive. Super King, make sure of that. Looks like Team Clickbait are finally firing back what we expected them to do a couple rounds ago, but they did in this one. And I have to say, the excuse me there, I have to say that the attack coming in from the side of coming in from the side of Spectre Gaming was kind of reminiscent of the way Clickbait played, i.e. there was a little bit of utility clearance, there was some rotations and whatnot being made by the attackers, but at the end of the day, it wasn't enough. Not even close for that matter, especially the aggressive way that the defenders were playing and being allowed to get away with it. Not enough emphasis, I would say, on those off-site areas, if you will. And that could be one of the things that's costing them that costed them in that round. Then again, it was the first attack of Spectre Gaming tonight, so things are still liable to change, just as equally liable to change. That is, from the side of Clickbait's defense. Again, like I said, Clickbait, they might have had something to show us on the other side of round 7 role swap, and they definitely did show us in round 7 itself. Now, everything up from here will be a little bit harder to predict as the match goes on. It could be closer to overtime. It could be a straight sweep for either team from here on out. Honestly, we can't tell, primarily because of round 7, as I'm sure the sentiments were running against Clickbait going into that 2 to 4 role swap situation. After the last round, it's gotten just slightly harder to really stake a claim on. Interestingly enough, they're going for that, oh boy, all right, Zam wants to go for an early spawn peek. He might just find somebody off that blue van. He just has to hold this position a little bit longer. But I don't think he will gain much off of it. Venitus is very apprehensive of actually going out of this area on the spawn, the west side spawn of the map. He's just busy pre-firing those piano windows, doing what he can to make sure that no spawn peaks come in. And there we go. The Iana will actually do her work. And oh boy, Venitus, not like this. Come on, man. Crouching away to glory in front of all the open doors and windows of Cafe, quite literally taunting Clickbait, saying, come on, I'm right here, shoot me. But then again, Gemini replicators, they can fool even us casters sitting here with all the advantage in the world. So there's no, there's no shortage of bamboozle moments that replicator could bring out. Now, the thing that I was gonna say before we zoomed into Zam doing his thing on the main door was that there is no castle in play. Even though it's a bit of an extended hold, it actually is the extended hold on first floor that we're seeing from Clickbait without a castle. That's going to make for a very interesting round, I'd say, as we're at the minute 40 mark.
Most definitely it will, and looks like this time around Spectre Gaming came in a little more prepared than before. Just taking care of the spawn peaks. That is definitely a relief to see that nobody's dying in spawn peaks. But wait a minute, that Gemini replicator once again did happen to fool us, just like Blackjack said. Still will be Venatus' fight to take and maybe to win as well. Does come down to seeing who will be the one to go take the fall first. They've got the soft reach coming in from up top as well, and like I said, the side of Clickbait, they did manage to put the side of Spectre Gaming back on the back foot. But oh boy, Super King always cutting me off mid-sentence with those shots, man. I've got to give it to him. He's really on something else today, landing them just amazingly well. There'll be another headshot for the man to take away. Super King. Let's see what more he has to offer to us. Gunmaker will be the next one to fall in fight. Aoreo from above. Like I said, the soft reach coming in from above is an influential factor that they'll have to play around, but only 40 seconds left, and I think Spectre Gaming needs to make a move. Teddy, watching this angle from the side of the hallway, we've got Zam positioned up all the way on the side of Bakery. We've still got Pazu coming in. That will be the hard breach from the hatch. Noob, meanwhile, watching the hallway for any strays, but so far, nobody. Teddy, looking at the same angle, I think it will come down to the Twitch and the Vamai picking this fight. Excuse me, they're not the Vamai. That is, of course, the Malusi. Somehow, still cannot get my head around those logos. We'll still be seeing them push happen. In fact, that is the final push. Zam picks up one. Pazu on the refrag. They've still got a 3 versus 3 and back into play. Will be Venatus. Drops another, drops a third. That is Spectre Gaming all over the map and light up the screen, people. That was them. All on the scoreboard and all over the map. Spectre Gaming get the better of their defenders this time around. Despite that early time waste coming in, they were quick enough to get the control onto the top floor. We did see them just put in all the while enough insurance and safety just so you don't happen to lose anybody in the beginning. And that was a good decision, well made from the side of Spectre Gaming. And I think that's what has put them here on this very good advantage that they so direly wanted. It is not anymore just a one-round differential. It will come down to how they happen to play the next round, because this is where the magic happens. Let's see if Spectre Gaming happens to get match point on round 9, or is it going to be a fight back mode that we'll see the side of Clickbait jump into. That's what I'm here to find out. Kitchen service and kitchen cooking is going to be the side. We've got 6 pick coming onto the Amaru. And I think we might just be in for a little maybe Amaru rush. I'm not sure. Does happen to put things into perspective and make me dream a little. I mean, come on. I see Amaru pick. I'm expecting a rush. If I see a Tachanka pick, I'm expecting a spawn pick. That being said, we'll be headed to round 9. Let's see what they have to do.
Interestingly enough, that same push that we saw from Spectre Gaming in the previous round 8, right, where they had where was a 4 versus 4 all the way until the very dying seconds of the round, is something we see from we've seen both from Clickbait and from Spectre and from many teams across the divisions and qualifiers of the 10 months that we have had both the previous league and this Pro League 4. Right, and in most situations, it doesn't necessarily work out for the side of the attack. There's just not enough time. They're too focused on the plant. They can't get the kills. They lose gunfights. And, we sort of chime in on the fact that they took far too long to actually get in there, get themselves established. The main difference between what happens usually and what Spectre Gaming did in the previous round, I would say, is just down to the fact that, they just did better. In all sense of the word. They got in. Some of the utilities were cleared out, I will admit, and their droning had to have been at least of a good quality to have a good idea of where the defenders are / could have gone. Super King now droned out of his position on top floor. He's still peeking Skylight, and the Amaru knows this. Oreo, he doesn't want to peek him too prematurely and get taken out, but he's got to be careful, as another one will give away Super King's position. Not too good, especially those whiffed shots. He's gone onto that wall of this balcony, but no, a couple of kills come in as Noob will take the refrag onto Gunmaker, because Gunmaker was the one to find Oreo. Little too late for Noob, though. He couldn't quite finish off the vigil before the kill was confirmed onto his teammate. Really unfortunate for the man, but of course, you can only do so much when repelled on a window and a tight angle in those positions. even then they'll be happy for the fact that Gunmaker is off the board. One of Clickbait's better players, I will say, in most situations. As Super King, the other one is still on second floor. He's still holding inside of library. Could make a huge play. Shots will be fired. Somehow misses the ace. And Pazu's now on a chase. I think Killster's going to join him. He might just. And they're trying to do a bit of a pincer movement on the Moz. He could find Super King right here on the door. But no, the pre-fire from the ace is going to give away his position. Doesn't matter. Noob comes in. Takes the kill instead. 3 versus 3. As Teddy, I found Pazu and got found by Killster. Kills are being dropped, quite literally, by the side of Spectres. They are not allowing Clickbait to take the lead at any given point in this round. They've done their refrag. They've done their man advantage homework. And it seems that Clickbait just cannot pull one over the side of Spectre Gaming. Now, some verticality will be established via the Ash. The Gemini replicated right in the face of Kaid. That got a bit too close for the man, but of course Noxy didn't have to worry too much. Now he has to worry about verticality though, as so many shots are being fired, and there we go. Venatus and Noob will finish off the final 2 nice and quickly, no problems whatsoever. Finds the kite out in the hallway, sees him running about, there we go. Nice little wall bang, finishes it off, and with that, the side of Spectre Gaming are going to be on match point, ladies and gentlemen. This has been one heck of a match for the side of SG, as they have quite literally taken the advantage and rolled with it. Something fierce, one would say. 6-3 is now the scoreline as we're headed back to third floor bar and Cocktail Lounge. The only side on defense that the side of Clickbait have won so far. They might want to try again, and they might want to try for a few more rounds, but then again, should they win bar here, they're going to be forced to go back to either second floor or first floor, and we all know how first floor has gone so far. 6 pick out into the Jaeger by Super King as the 10th round is now underway.
That's right, it will be underway, and quite the performance from Spectre Gaming. I think I've got the answer for what I was looking for. Will they be able to take match point? The answer is yes. They did take match point, and 6-3 looks like a very good scoreline for the side of Spectre Gaming to make advantage of. Will they be able to do that or not is what we're going to find out under round 10. But that's just it. Clickbait. You're not being getting to see that standard Clickbait stuff that we'll get to see from them usually. But I've got to talk about this. We did get to see a very good roam clear coming in from the side of the attack. We saw them converge onto my man Super King there, just trying to shut him down altogether, knowing how influential he can be. But coming back to the first kill that we did see get dropped, the Mozzie moving out of the position, and the Vigil, that is of course the Gunmaker, coming in a little spot of a refrag game that was a little funny to look at, because just the way it happened to be, the Zofia was supposed to find the Mozzie and not the Vigil, and somehow it was still a little unfortunate for the man. But anyways, we'll be here back into play, and like I said, Teddy, he's running the Jordanian, and quite interestingly Oryx. So it is, of course, another one of those days where I do miss Barbadusta, but hey, we're back here into this. We won't be having any more OEM movements into the middle of the match, definitely not. But just as we happen to move ahead, I'll be looking to see what the Oryx can do. Not a whole lot happening, at least. The noise is still a little more focused and isolated on the top floor. That is, of course, the roof, because we've not gotten to see the push happen, at least not yet from the side of the attack. The defense just being all the while more bouncy. Oh, 2 drones already taken off from Zam. That will be a quick take for him, but that's just not enough. He's got to do more than just that. He's got to stay alive here. He's got to hold the entirety of Cigar all by himself. Coming in are those Legion mines that he'll be farming, and I think he'll just be keeping on doing this. Zam has got support from his friend and teammate, and that means that Crossfire is exactly what they're looking to play with. It is a dangerous bet to make, honestly, now that you think about it. With a Crossfire like that, it will come down to so much information that you'll be looking out for, and Zam has none of it. Looking to make the amends to it. 1 minute and 30 remaining. The pushes are coming in from the attackers. That's just a drone. It will confuse Zam, but it will also leave him dead. A little greedy will leave him in a very bad spot. TDI does get the better of Oreo though. They've still got a 4 versus 4 back into play. That quick refrag is what you'll expect from somebody playing in the bathroom. They still got the push coming in. When it is back on his drone, he's looking for more information. Afraid that somebody's flanking him, but wait, a headshot comes in, or does it not? TDI connects that one, and that is the Oryx, in fact, making all the difference right now for the side of Clickbait. The Zofia being able to get, oh, all right, that was quite the shot. Okay, Noob. It's quite the work that he's done, able to outsmart the side of the defense just like that, not even wanting to take the gunfight face first. Will be using that little sneaky cheeky hole for himself. Will still be seeing Super King running around the hallway, and that is of course the Jaeger. Noob does get the finish off onto the Teddy Eye, but we'll still be looking at a 3 versus 3 with everybody on full HP, and the plan, I think, it's got to go down. 30 seconds. We're getting the push. We're getting to see the push coming in from Venatus. Is of course not the planter. The planter will be paused. Who is up on the skylight, but this push up is being stopped. Noob is taken down, and that is of course coming in from Super King, the man who's been putting in all the work for the side of Spectre Gaming, or for the side of Clickbait. We still got Gunmaker coming in with the denial, which he will, and that's a quick headshot onto Venatus. Where's the last man standing? Not anymore. He will be taken down by Gunmaker as well. Pazu is the one who takes the fall, and Spectre Gaming will not be surviving their match point. Clickbait happen to give themselves and everybody out there who's supporting them another chance, another breather, as we'll be headed to round 11. Taking a look at that in the instant replay and heading to it, we still have to remember the fact that we're getting to see one of these teams still stay on match point. That's right, Spectre Gaming still is on match point. They can still make it happen, but that still is the key word here. They've got 2 whole rounds to cover up. Let's see if we'll be getting to see that kind of a bounce back from the start of the defense. We'll be underway with round 11. Let's see what this match happens to hold.
Interestingly enough, the events that I predicted seem to have come to pass, at least for that round, as in third floor bar, going the way of Team Clickbait yet again. But now the real challenge lies for Team Clickbait, right? Third floor bar was the side that they won previously, and is the side that they won again a couple of rounds later, round 7 and 10. Now, they've gone back to first floor kitchen. They have pretty much the same operator hold, that operator lineup, that we saw them have in round 9, the round that they unfortunately took a big loss to Spectre Gaming, especially right towards the end of that same round. Again, it came down to the dying seconds, but Spectre made sure to give themselves more than enough room to work with, if you will. And Clickbait just seemed to be a little all over the place, a little bit unsure of how to approach the situation. This time, instead of blocking off multiple points of entry, they're actually opening up those lines of sight, those rotates, creating what we've come to know as the extended first floor hold on Cafe Dostoyevsky. But of course, you know, they did that on round 8 as well, and didn't quite produce the kind of results that they wanted. No spawn peaks from the looks of this. From the looks of this round so far, from the side of Clickbait, it looks like Zam himself actually isn't even on the Jaeger. It's Gunmaker who's on the Jaeger. Interesting change up of operator roles. Something I can appreciate, something we all can appreciate when it comes to teams in any division. Changing up operator roles sometimes can be the key to unlocking greater round winning potential. It could just be that Gunmaker sitting behind Big Bakery, the counter in Big Bakery, that is, with the Jaeger 416 in hand, could be the key for them, or it could be Zam on the mute with the C4 and a shotgun in hand. 14 pellets remaining. He's got to conserve those, however. As we all know, that shotgun can be really strong in close ranges. Noxy opening up a few, there are a few bullet holes via the revolver on that pantry wall. A little unreinforced bit that's there, but now looks like the attackers are hunting Super King first and foremost. They know that he's one of the playmakers that they need to watch out for when it comes to Team Clickbait, and they are trying to get that roam clear done ASAP. Oreo pushing up white corridor right now, could be the first target, and he almost was. Unfortunately, the shots didn't quite connect. Super King will fall back to second floor, down downstairs onto first, as a Twitch drone, I believe, is chasing him, giving away his location nice and quickly. And there we go. He's been spotted going back into sight. No, all right. Make it. I was going to say, like, he needs to make that decision quickly. First floor bar looks like will be his area of play, but Teddy is going to take one. Killster goes down, but no, quite literally trapped on second floor. No ammo on the gun. We'll see him get taken down, and that's the refrag taken, but at what cost? Killster is off the board. That's your buck down. So all soft breach will come down to, once again, Noob Ash. Then again, Spectre have made it work with just that before. This time could once again be theirs, droning in towards site yet again, as we have the hard walls being breached open. via, of course, this summer breaches. Oh, dear me, that C4 toss was not a good idea. Super King is going to lose that utility in one of the more comical ways you could. Jones will come in nice and quickly to give away the positions as code check is now being emphasized on. Zam's position given away, but he's going to peek with the SMG in hand. Is this a good idea? He's gone very close, but no, pulls out the shotgun and falls back in time. Finds the Ash. Good play from the man right there. As another one will be found. That's a down and a kill and a couple. And now it's all down to the last man standing. The IQ with the G8. Can he find the last man standing? No, he cannot. Not the last man standing, actually. Zam was one of the final two standing. Even then, it wouldn't have mattered too much because the man himself was so low on HP. There wasn't a whole lot he could do. Zam did more than enough to finish off the round in the favor of the side of Clickbait. Looks like Team Clickbait are in fact bringing it back, ladies and gentlemen, as Spectre are now on the cusp of losing their match point lead. Why do I say that? Because it is 6-5 on the scoreboard, and that means we are in the round of ones. Round 12 is underway, where there's only one winning round condition to go for both sides for two very different results. Spectre Gaming, if they win this round, they will go to win the match, finish it off here and now. And for the side of Clickbait, if they win this round, they will have pushed for overtime and made a successful comeback from 2-4 down at halfway in the game. 12 rounds of the game so far has been pretty interesting to see what both of these teams bring out, as now round 12, we're going to see what happens on second floor reading.
That's exactly, excuse me there. That's exactly where we'll be headed. Once again, the match point is still in the favor of Spectre Gaming. So it does come down to them having to perform this really well. What we'll be seeing heading into this match is quite interestingly, Clickbait has taken their time, but they've made their way back onto this little mound that they've had for themselves. And now, with that one round just to cover up, I think it is most definitely a possibility into going of making this into overtime. And just the way we happen to see things happen and go around, overtime might just be around the corner. Teddy still playing on side. And did I just hear a C4 blow off in the distance for a possible rotation? Not the best of things to do, honestly. You won't be seeing anything. Oh, there was, in fact, Noxy did happen to make a nice rotation along the side. I think that was necessary. So I think coming around with that was unavoidable. Won't really blame them for that, but right now I think what really should be a concerning matter and a pressing concern for Spectre Gaming is as I can physically feel them almost being able to know that their airway is getting blocked so close to getting that victory for them, getting that match point, but now so close to losing it all as well. Clickbait has definitely put them in that little spot, in that little corner that they've got to perform at any point and now, any moment now, that is, of course. The Bandit coming in with the dark spot position. We've still not got him making the push happen. Or in fact, he'll not be looking for any active fights. Most definitely he won't be. Super King just making sure that he does happen to hear enemy coming in with the rappel, which it will. And that is, of course, the side of the attackers making their way up top here. Killster will be making the push from the side of Cigar. We've not got a whole lot happening. At least not exactly in the terms of what you would expect out of an attacking team to come out. But just the way we happen to talk about this, it is more than just positioning. Zam will be the one to fall, but here's a quick refrag. Or is it not? That's a double kill for the man, in fact. Aoreo really goes crazy on this, goes wild. And that is Spectre Gaming. I think they're angry. They're looking to get that match point conversion. Aoreo not being able to shift his aim not quickly enough will be his undoing. Noxy is the one to take that kill, in fact, and Aoreo will go down. We still got a 4 versus 2 make that, as we did see Bazu get that little mischievous man out of the way. Gunmaker will be the one to take the fall. The carbine no more into play, and that means the Jaeger has been taken out. We still got the push-up coming in with a 2 versus 4 is most definitely a possibility for the side of Clickbait to work this around, but it's only one man standing. How long can he? He's going to get a first frag, and that'll be Noob to take the fall, and that's it. That's the shutdown, people. Teddy goes down from Venators, and that will be the cleanup for Spectre Gaming that they'll just be able to walk away with. Took them a while to get there, but they finally did. The victory line will be for them 7-5, and that's man, I love that victory pose. We'll be heading back to Blackjack, trying to get more information on what just happened with the match.
I mean, I can mirror that sentiment, if you will, Fox. I think everybody in the chat loves that victory pose that we all get to see, Iana MVPs and whatnot. But outside of the obvious elephant in the room, we're going to be moving on to relive the moment, as in to say that we're not quite done with this match, even though the players themselves are 7-5 victory. First of all, very big congratulations to the side of Spectre Gaming. Took them a while, but they finally got there, and that's what matters the most for them in this situation. A good start to week one as they won their match yesterday. Now they're here winning their match today against Team Clickbait, a formerly formidable team, currently not in a good spot, I have to say. Really, the moment we'll be going live in a quick moment, ladies and gentlemen, to where we get to talk about the best moments of the match that we had and what both teams can really look at to to improve going forward from here. We'll be going live on your screens right now. There we go. And first things first, Clickbait on the attack. Something that we, sort of touched on while the match itself was ongoing was Clickbait's attack has really been watered down as of late. It's no longer the same, coordinated aggression that we saw from them back in season 3 and some of it in season 4. I will still say that Div 2, while it was definitely not the not the most enjoyable learning experience for them, it's definitely left its mark on Team Clickbait. They definitely seem to have reared themselves in quite a bit and are looking to bring things back, reevaluate their position on how aggressive they need to be and how passive they need to be in any given situation. And it seems to me that they tried something else today, and unfortunately it didn't quite work the way that they wanted it to, and Spectre Gaming were very quick to take full advantage of that in this situation. Spectre really did well in that first half, I have to say. The only 2 rounds that they lost were both on second floor reading, and that sort of says something about those reading rounds. They might want to look at their roam game and, of course, their positioning inside of side itself, as they lost many a gunfight due to those positionings, due to some decisions being made that honestly shouldn't have been, especially on round 6. A lot of the kills taken by Super King, who, mind you, got a 4K that round, were primarily down to everybody peeking him on angles and positions that they knew he was at. Primarily, you don't want to do that because you then run the risk of getting caught out by somebody who's been holding that angle for the longest time. Super King, all he had to do was just wait in the wings, and that he did. Going on to the other side of Roll Swap, Clickbait's defense definitely started picking things up quite a bit. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite all there. The first floor kitchen rounds were definitely not the best from the side of Clickbait, and that shows, given the fact that they went from 3-4 down to 3-6 down, losing 2 back-to-back rounds, especially on round 8. Man, Spectre, they had to pull off a last-minute push to site, and they did that pretty much as perfectly as they could given the situation. Going back to third floor bar, though, things suddenly started looking a little bit more dire for the side of SG, because Clickbait excuse me, started bringing things back for themselves. They were winning the gunfights, they were winning on positioning. More importantly, they were outplaying the side of Spectre Gaming, who seemed to be playing just a little bit more fast and loose than they were up until that point, going to the point of even losing on a first floor kitchen. Again, trying that same thing of the last, a push in the last 20 seconds, but it really didn't work out for them, as we saw with the fact that it went all the way to a 5-6 situation. Clickbait could have had it, but in the end, of course, we all know what really came out. That third floor push coming out from the side of Spectre Gaming's attack nipped the bud quite effectively. And then, of course, the final couple of kills were confirmed in quick succession. Pazu taking 1. Well, I say quick succession, of course. And the Castle last man standing couldn't really do too much, given that it was a 1v3 with the UMP. And I don't think that, unless you're Canadian, you can do too much in that situation. I think anybody paying attention will be able to make that connection. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that has been it for Relive the Moment and the first match of the night, as Team Clickbait will have to try and make amends for this first week in week 2, and we'll be moving on to D3 Space taking on, excuse me right there, D3 Space taking on Zendaya Fan Club. No, actually, that's Red Vipers. Seem to be a little misinformation flowing around here. Red Vipers taking on D3 Space, which will be going live on your screens in a short moment after this quick break. Stay tuned.
We head for the sky, it's alright. Our wings wouldn't fly, it's alright. If we are crashing down again, pieces of love, it's alright. Scattered in mud, it's alright. You're giving me a lie again. And tell me what you want, this time I won't take it to the heart, 'cause I know we won't make it out. I've heard it all before. Yeah, tell me what you want, let me hear that I'm the only one. You know that we won't make it out. We've heard it all before. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright, so let's move on. 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 We head for the sky, it's alright. Our wings wouldn't fly, it's alright. If we are crashing down again, pieces of love, it's alright. Scattered in mud, it's alright. You're giving me a lie again. And tell me what you want, this time I won't take it to the heart, 'cause I know we won't make it out. I've heard it all before. Yeah, tell me what you want, let me hear that I'm the only one. You know that we won't make it out. We've heard it all before. It's alright. Hey. It's alright. Hey. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright, so let's move on. 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 It's alright.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD BLACK Esports Club Pro League 4 Rainbow Six Siege, supported by Ubisoft and, of course, our broadcast partner, Booyah. Here are your hosts, Blackjack and Foxtrot, and, of course, our match admin, Eisen, as we are here, of course, for the final game of the night. That is, of course, day 2 of Division 3, the final season of the Pro League. Plenty of numbers and implications right there, but the long and short of it is Red Vipers versus D3 Space, going live on your screens on the map of Villa. As we join our players in the band phase right here and now, D3 are on the defense, Red Vipers on the offense, and Villa is going to be a very interesting map indeed. We've seen plenty of this defender-sided map. When it comes to the qualifiers this season, Villa has been a mainstay of the lower ends of the qualifiers. Even towards the end, we saw plenty of Villa to break up what was otherwise a very monotonous clubhouse qualifiers, I should say. But all things considered, it was still a pretty good time to see this map be brought out and emphasized on as much as it has been this season. So kudos to all the teams, and now we're going to be seeing it be played one more time with a Thatcher and a Blackbeard band to start us off again. Very interesting right there. Mirroring the bans of the last match, this time around, D3 Space banning Thatcher, Red Vipers deciding they do not want to go up against the Blackbeard in the slightest, regardless of the fact that that is post roll swap round 7. They will be on defense over at that time, and they don't want to have that BB in play. Mira will be banned on the other side. That is, of course, one of the most banned defenders, and one that we, have talked about so much at this point that it doesn't even bear repeating in most situations why she is banned. Those one-way mirrors, man, they show you things, shall we say, or shall we also say they show Mira things, given that she's always on the bench. Right now, of course, we're gonna have the Melusi in the bans as well from the side of D3 Space. Looks like they don't want to play with those Banshee deterrents, as Baba likes to call them so much. And I guess I can kind of get it. You're kind of playing for the long game, and there's other operators you want to emphasize on, like, of course, Jaeger, like, of course, Vigil, and others. Maybe even a Clash. Who knows? D3 Space is one of those teams who could bring out a Clash and probably get away with it. Second floor Aviator and Games Room will be the side of choices. Let's have a look at both of the rosters that are here in the lobby for us today. From the side of Red Vipers, we've got Anaconda, Ali, G-Sir, Seth, Bearfriend, Electric, and from the side of D3 Space, we've got Akivs, AXH, Abu Akil, Mugi. Okay. I'm sorry. Pronouncing the first four letters got. I'm just going to call him Rufy, but I don't think that makes it any better. Yeah, I don't think that makes it any better, but regardless, we'll work with the situation. And of course, Kakashi with the cap can. Interesting pick right there. We saw him change out to the cap can right at the end of the pick phase itself. So it looks like it's a pick that D3 Space wants Red Vipers to know that they have. So, they're gonna have to be a little bit more careful, take a little bit more time taking care of those captain traps. But of course, enough of me blabbering on about the intro of this game. I've taken the mic away from Foxy for long enough. So, Mr. Foxtrot, what do you expect out of this match that we've got on hand?
First things first, let me tell you this, Blackjack. I'm very excited to see what Red Vipers will be bringing in. Most definitely, this team goes way back into the league. It has made Division 3 its home pretty much, more or less at least. They've been having their own excuse me there. They've been having their own question throughs throughout the entirety of the Pro League, and just as the way we happen to see stuff like this come out, they were juggling between Division 2 and Division 3. Now here, back into this match, if you ask me, it is of course going to be against D3 Team Space, and that is of course a little bit new to what, little bit new names to what I'm getting to see on a general scale, but it most definitely will be very interesting to see what will happen as we happen to go ahead. Seth, yeah, yes, Blackjack.
You know how you said D3 Team Space, given that their former name was Team Sky. I feel like that's a missed opportunity for D3 Space. Could have been a natural escalation of that name. Oh well. Oh well.
That is so true. That could have been one of those derivations. You have the sky and now space. I'm not sure what will come after that. Right now, I think I don't know. Somehow, whenever I think about sky and space, I immediately think about resources. But coming back to what is in this match, and of course the resources look very good and very well prepped from the side of the defense. They're looking very poised right now, just to fend off the attackers. That is, of course, Red Viper Seth. He's already picked up a fight. He's lost a lot of HP on that as well. He'll be looking to make amends to it. So again, see the burnout coming in, and this is, of course, the standard Villa attack. And I say standard only because Red Vipers, let's be honest here, people, they're not so standard. With that place in the C4 missed opportunity, AXZ should have had somebody manning that drone instead of having to go back on it himself. That's exactly what you do not do, people. Just some notes you want to take for yourselves. If you're a Valkyrie main, we'll be seeing somebody else coming in around the hallway. I think that is the Sludge around the corner. And Anaconda looking to find the skill AXH's position, giving away with that C4 placement that just came out a while ago. Still got to make the push. Still got to make the fight happen, which it will any moment now. AXH getting caught off in this little area. There you go. Anaconda getting the better of him. I knew that is going to happen. Could see it coming. Kakashi will get a quick refrag onto Ali as well. Wait a minute. Rufy is here to get one more. Anaconda, where he's taking this damage from. A pre-fire comes in, but that won't matter. Kakashi gets the second. That'll be the double kill coming in from the captain himself. He's still got the push-up, and that'll be on the side. Seth gets the better onto Rufy. He's still got the push-up coming in. And wait a minute. Electric. He's already on the side. Abu does get the better of Seth. That is through the gas canister. Breathing in all of it. not the best of positions to be in. Electric in a 1 versus 3 that he's found himself in. And you've got the Jaeger just watching this angle right around the corner. He'll be coming in with the pre-fires. Now position given away. Is Electric somehow wins that still. Will be looking to make this clutch happen. The Jackal really high on this adrenaline. Won't last for long. Kakashi, the man who's really made D3 team space to take this round away for themselves. And that is of course going to be the round for this man. The triple kill that came in from the Capcan, having to put D3 team space into the first round in their pocket. That is going to be round 1 taken away by the defensive team. 0-1 will be the scoreline. That's we'll be headed to round 2 with Trophy and Statutory Room as the defensive side. Let's see what happens.
Very, very interesting first round that we got to see from the side of both D3 Space and Red Vipers, of course. But, all in all, I would say that D3 did a lot better right towards the end when they needed to. They took those kills early. Well, I say early in that execute. Even though Memorial and... wait, not Memorial. Memorial's downstairs. Ceremonial Hall. Yeah, I kind of got confused between those. They're the same ends to those words, they can sound similar right towards the end there. So, all in all, regardless, the Ceremonial Hall being emphasized on the way it was from the side of Red Vipers, it looked like a quick take onto Games Room could be in play. But of course, we saw Sight Hold coming out very well, and of course, you had Kakashi down below doing work as the Capcan, and his traps constantly putting the side of the attack on low HP. That definitely did not help them out in at the least, not at all. They definitely needed to be a little bit more careful of Captain traps, and that's why I will still hold on to the fact that, Capcan is one of the more slept-on operators when it comes to competitive Rainbow Six. Like, come on, those traps are literally free damage and intel at any given point on the match. 5 of them at that. Sure, they're not one-hit insta-kills, but especially in rush situations where the attackers are pressured into pushing an area and there's a Capcan trap there's a good chance that they will already be hurt aplenty. And, hurt aplenty, and that will definitely... help the defenders make their play as well as they did. I lost my train of thought so quickly there. But regardless, ladies and gentlemen, my train of thoughts notwithstanding, going into round 2, we're having plenty of utility clearance on that main bedroom area as AXH has been down. Kakashi, I just realized I've been talking about the Capcan. He himself has been taken out, and I think that's what Fox was trying to signal to me. I know that you guys can't see it on stream, but Electric's going to find Roofy in the meanwhile. That's another big kill taken. AXH is still down. The Kaid has been taken care of. Now, it's effectively speaking a 2v5, and Red Vipers are doing a lot in this round, but Abuakal comes in, takes one flashbang directly at his feet. Not expecting that one as Seth finds him. There we go. It's all down to Akif's, the last man standing, coming in from that 90 hallway. Can he find the Jackal? Electric takes a bit of damage, but no, that's merely his position given away. And Seth will finish him off nice and quickly. Red Vipers is gonna take their second round. Trophy Statutory. Very good, very clean round from them. Only one body dropped, as we will see in the instant replay. As round 3 will now be underway, 1-1. The early match scoreline is here as we are headed back to second floor trophy room and statuary.
That's exactly where we're headed to, and quite the round coming in for the side of the attack. Now that you think about it, Red Vipers, it somehow does happen to come without saying that they're good in attack. We've seen some amazing attack rounds come out from this team, and it just happens to go with the flow. Any team that is good with the aggression has been good on attack. Talk about Nat, talk about Stack, talk about Demon's Force now. It is the same story, and I think Red Vipers comes under that category with everybody being an amazing gunner, just able to make the better of an attacking round. But that was the first round, and a dent into the momentum of D3 team space. That is, of course, something that we'll be seeing to explore a little bit more. But right now, D3 team space, it's these names that I definitely haven't seen before, not a whole lot, but they are definitely coming out to give quite the competition to Red Vipers, and I'm really loving that. Let's see what happens going ahead into this match. Akif, he'll be bringing out this time around the mute. That is, of course, I still not got a whole lot of emphasis in terms of anti-breach potential. They've got the mute and the kite. All right, never mind. Not just as I happened to mention the mute and the kite, I just happened to realize I made a contradictory statement. But coming back, they've still got the trap meta. That will be the Goyo and that will be the Frost. You still got the shields to take care of. You've still got the mats to be scared of. That is of course something that I think many of the players happen to just completely ignore and give away free kills on. We've seen the best of the best. In fact, this somehow happens to work even into the Division 1 matches as well. So the Frost, definitely a great pick. But will Red Vipers be prepared enough for the counter strategies that D3 teams face? Looks like they've brought for them. Electric making the push happen from the side of the window. That'll be coming in from the trophy window, of course. So I myself like to call it the Fox window. They still got AX Search coming in along that corner. That is, of course, the Frost can take these long-range fights. I don't see him doing that, not yet. It still is all of this utility bait that is coming in. Look at that, the Zophia's lifeline being expelled completely. Right outside the window, but you've got the shield taken care of. You've got some push-ups coming in, and now the Sledge can do his job. Throws in a nade, and that is going to do quite the work. Honestly, the Goyo shield getting popped off in the distance as well. That is more than enough work already being done for the side of the attackers. Red Vipers, once again, being quick with burning the utility just the way they wanted. They're not wasting anything here. Honestly, they are pacing themselves really well. And the 1 minute 30 second that is going to be left towards the end of it will come down to a frag frenzy and just a heavy kill game with 10 men left in the lobby. As I speak about it, a quick refrag. That was quite the trade. Kakashi and Ali G finding each other at the same time will result in a quick trade-off and that little gunfight. He's still got a 4 versus 3 back into effect. Electric adds up another one to that little scoreboard. He's still got Office. I think he's dead. Yeah, that's what has happened. Anaconda finding him towards the end of his body shots there. It'll still come down to Rupee and Abu staying alive for their team. The Goyo and the Jaeger. He's still got the push-up coming in from the side of the attack. That's a 4 versus 2 with the positions given away. Goyo knowing exactly where he is. It does come down to where is the Jaeger. But the Jaeger is busy getting kills. The Goyo not so much. And there you go. Seth does get the final frag. And that will be the cleanup from the side of Red Vipers once again. Like I said, it is an aggressive team. Red Vipers likes to take things rough, and that's what they did. They took the fight to the turf of the enemy. That's what I got to see. D3 team space not being able to hold their own on the side will result in another round going to the side of the attack. 2-1 is going to be the scoreline. We'll be headed to round 4, taking a quick look at that in the instant replay and back to Aviator and Games Room.
Very, very interesting indeed. The way Red Vipers have approached trophy and statuary, the more aggressive style of play that we're getting to see from them over there, definitely could translate over to Aviator Games Room now that we are on round 4. Excuse me, right there. Because RV has managed to take the lead. Their first lead in this match, 2-1 is the scoreline, going into round 4. While, of course, D3 Space is kind of there, kind of not at the same time. They're trying to bring it back, and they're definitely showing glimpses of some good potential of winning this game in there. At the very least, keeping up with Red Vipers, a team that has gone quite far when it comes to the Pro League itself. This Pro League, that is, of course. But right now, you have the Mozzie in play. I think he may have caught a drone right there, the Zophia's drone. No? Yeah, he might just have. Keys will be very happy with that. And Seth, not so much. He's going to be a little bit careful next time whenever there's a Mozzie in play, or just in general when you have those stairs to watch out for. Drone works, of course, will come to an end, temporarily speaking, from the side of Red Vipers. Not for everybody, of course. Maybe Electric or Ali G could be on the drones while the rest of them push up, intel gathering as you take care of the roamers. Definitely seems like that could be the case. They have to watch out for the drone that has been claimed by Akifs, though. Given that the Mozzie, of course, that's where he works best, taking away intel gathering potential from the side of the attackers and using that for the defenders. It's a really cool double utility, if you will, for the side of defense. As given Valkyrie bans and Mira bans to an extent, intels were being crippled from the side of the defense. D3 Space using up the Mozzie to at the very least some potential, not his fullest. His fullest is at 3 drones, but let's be real here. When are you actually going to get 3 drones? Not very likely as it goes. Akif's in the meanwhile position given away via Jackal pings as he just moved down those kitchen stairs before coming back up nice and quickly. Another scan seems to have gone out, maybe not quite it, but Akif's actually going to find Ali G. In the meanwhile, that's a huge drop onto the Nomad, as those air jabs will no longer be in use. But you have the Jackal Electric right on his tail, and that's going to be a lot of pings on the Mozzie's potential locations. So Akif's has to be so very careful now on the basement. He is being chased by Electric, and he has to be careful as to not be found. He's just moving around trying to confuse any attackers coming after him, as he knows that information, if it becomes too noisy, then attackers can't do too much. But in the meanwhile, Seth's gonna find 1-2 actually. Abu Akil and Rufio have gone down, and now suddenly the site is being cracked wide open, forcing the Mozzie out of his position. Could get taken out on red carpet stairs. That's the place he was pushing, but no, he's gonna go up nice and quickly. Seth has been down, but no kills confirmed. That's the Jackal from down below. 3 versus 2, as Seth will be confirmed onto by Kakashi. Anaconda finds Kakashi. That's the refrag. The Legion's position now given away. It's a 3 versus 1, as it's all down to AXH. Grenade's about to go out. The Jackal scan's coming out on his location, right by the bomb. Electric attempted drop shot right there, but of course he couldn't get the kill. Managed to get it while coming back up, interestingly enough. So some could say, well, I can't really call that a reverse drop shot either. He didn't stand all the way up. He kind of paused on the crouch. But regardless, kill was taken, and the round has been won. That is what they needed most in this situation. Red Vipers continuing their lead as they will head on to round 5. 3-1 is the scoreline, giving themselves at the bare minimum a 3-3 equalizer going into defense on round 7. Hugely advantageous. Now the question is, how big is their lead going to be going forward from here? Or will these next 2 rounds be D3 Space's rounds to take? Now, before I hand it off to Foxy, I gotta say, this is counted the second time we're seeing first floor, living room, and library on Villa in the entirety of the Pro League. That I'm not honestly sure what's more surprising, that we are actually seeing this side be played or that we've already seen it once before. But regardless, much like the split site of Consulate, remember that map, ladies and gentlemen? Much like the split site of Consulate, this side, first floor, living room, and library, certainly holds potential, but it's a more difficult site on this map to hold for defenders. D3 Space might just have an idea of how to go about that difficulty, and they might be able to bring this round around for themselves just by surprise factor alone. But it really depends on how Red Vipers approaches this and how D3 reacts to that approach.
For some reason, I really find it funny the way you had to point it out, the fact that Consulate does exist as a map to our audience. Just a little joke with knowing that we get to see Clubhouse and Oricon so much. So for some of those people who did not catch on to it, it's just a little giggle I think Blackjack happened to try to get on us. But right now, it will be, it's not all the while so many smiles over here beside a D3 team space here, let's be honest. Just from the scoreline, I can tell that. And right, I'll let this out of me. It's not the best of positions to go when you happen to be solo on your man advantage. No, sorry, that is of course the point advantage. Excuse me, they're getting a little confused here. But just as we happen to come across this little round, that is of course round 5. It will come down to the side of the defense playing this really well. D3 team space has to put in everything that they've got. So far, they've been giving it a shot, but they have not been able to make executions or conversions happen. Top floor control given away and taken away, in fact, from the side of Red Vipers. We don't see any point of contest coming in from top. D3 team space, I think they're looking to play this remotely. I think they're looking to play this on the retake, or that might just not be the best of things to do. Seth coming in with the construction on the entirety of the top floor. This is going to be a difficult task for anybody who's right below him. That is, of course, coming down on the site, making this a living box of hell. Abu coming around the corner. That is, of course, the Jaeger. He lands a shot. That's a quick headshot coming in from the man. He'll be walking away with that one. Barefoot is the one who takes the fall. A quick refrag comes in from him. No, it does not actually. It will be the Nomad charge that will set off the Jaeger a little bit far from what he expected it to be. But now with him expel his utility, he's just going to go for the quick rotate. Electric, meanwhile, keeps things alive, excuse me. That, of course, will be our face taken down. The mute not alive to influence the round anymore. We still got this fight coming in, and Electric finds another. The Jackal being able to do so much work just from above. We won't be getting to see that push happen towards the end of it. Towards the end of this round, that is, of course, coming in from the side of the attack as Ali G adds up to it. The flank watch is dead. Abu will not be surviving anymore. That is, of course, the Jaeger was coming around the corner and now looking to find two more AXH. That beautiful bullet hole that he had for himself just gave away his position. Now Seth will be looking to make sure he gets the better of him. I still got AXH coming around the corner. Kakashi, I'm not sure where the Kaid happens to play at. Both these electric brothers, as I like to call them, will be the only ones left alive. 20 seconds. They've got to play this well. They've got to play this right. One of them will not be surviving this round anymore. It does, of course, come down all the way to the Kaid. Kakashi, where are you, my man? You're coming around the red stairs all the way. And yep, he'll be getting a frag, a nice one. In fact, Zofia goes down. He might just get the better of the planter. No, he won't be. That is, of course, there's a post-match situation that we just got kicked into. Now he's got to fight against this time bomb that is ticking so quickly, which you won't be able to. Ali G gets his third. I think that is, of course, the Nomad coming in with the better of. Oh, all right. I think he started moonwalking. Capcom. Not the best place to... no. That was the Kaid. Excuse me there. Not the best of places to start moonwalking, I guess, but that disconnection will be something that I think will be affecting the side of D3 Team Sky. Let's hope that it does not affect the momentum that they wanted to get for themselves. But just as we happen to move back into this and this little section with us, people, welcome back to a little chit chat with us. That's, of course, not something we were expecting to see. Excuse me there. Not something that we were expecting to see, but just the way this happens to go, a disconnection has come in from the side of the defense. We're looking to see that reconnection being made quickly enough. But just before we happen to, excuse me, just before we happen to go into the little details of that, I think coming back are the little details of this match that we missed entirely, and just the way we're getting to see D3 Team Sky not being able to gap that momentum between them. They're just not able to catch up to what Red Vipers has been bringing out. And let's be honest here, Red Vipers, I don't see a huge structure. I'm not getting to see a whole lot happening from them. It's just that they're able to outplay this side. They're playing this simple. They're getting the kills done on time. And the pacing is amazing. Before the end of the round, somebody is always on side. And that somehow is bizarre at the same time, but it's helping them. And that's what shows on the scoreboard.
I think more importantly than just those factors that you mentioned right there, Foxy, most importantly, if you will, is the fact that D3 Space wants to do things, slightly differently. They want to approach things differently, try a different defensive hold and whatnot. They actually did with First Floor Living Room. But like you said at the beginning of the round, given that it's a 1-3 situation, you're down 2 rounds, you need to equalize to at least give yourselves a chance on the other side of rounds on roll swap. Is living room the best choice given that trophy statuary and dining kitchen are available? Well, absolutely not. I mean, let's be real here. Dining would probably have been the best choice if they wanted to change things up because they've already lost trophy statuary, right? But they decided to go living room and, well, they kind of paid the price for it, if you will. Unfortunately, of course, that was only one of the many mistakes that D3 Spaces made all across the match today. And of course, it didn't exactly help that the Kaid Kakashi right there got kind of disconnected right as he was about to enter into sight. And it was stuck there on that hallway archway for the longest time. And it was right towards the end that it kind of dawned on us that, he might not actually be all there, if you will. Apparently, that was a game crash, and that kind of hurts. That hurts in the end, ladies and gentlemen. But at the end of the day, some factors are out of our control. So, we're just going to have to roll with the punches, especially D3 Space are going to have to roll with the punches. 4-1 is the score line, as Red Vipers have really been doing a ton of work today, giving themselves plenty of room to work with, plenty of advantage, plenty of intel and utility clearance. The only round that they had any trouble in whatsoever was back in round 1, and it seems like they've read into the way that this team plays, and they've never really had to look back yet. Round 6 will be underway as the pause has been unpaused because, of course, Kakashi is back, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll be going back into the match live right here, right now. Everybody's ready. The timer has resumed as the 6 pick will come in from Roofy out of the smoke into the mute. Very interesting decision right there to bring in, to take out the smoke on an aviator defense. Now, while that isn't something I necessarily agree with, if you will, it could be something that D3 needs in this situation, D3 space that is. Because if they are able to use the Mute Mozzie combo along with the Jaeger Wamai limited synergy, I think we should call it these days, given that they do no longer have that same synergy they used to have previously on Operation Shadow Legacy, the limited synergy that those two operators still retain, it might just work out, it might not. There's going to be setups, obviously, all the way towards bedroom. That is to be expected when it comes to AVG holes, right? As we've all come to expect from Villa, horizontal pressure is the name of the game. As we're gonna have some one-shot break barricades being set up as well. All the smart stuff that D3 Space could use to outplay or outmaneuver this side of the attackers. The problem is Red Viper sees these things and they read them and they see them, they read them, and they just outmaneuver the potential outmaneuvering from D3 Space. Plenty of maneuvering and outmaneuvering happening there. But now with round 6 underway, there's really one possibility for D3 Space right here, right now, which is to win this round and put themselves on a 2-4. It's much better position to be in than a 1-5, especially with your opponents going into defense the very next round. That is going to be huge for the side of Red Vipers. If they go 5-1 up onto defense, that will not look too good for the side of D3 Space, let me tell you that much. Electric with the Jackal scan, giving away the position of Arkeefs, but the man is, he's trying to be a bit of a slippery customer, running around all the way. He's done a bit of damage from the looks of it to Electric as well. The Jackal not looking too healthy over there. Bear for himself is taking a bit of damage as well, but not a whole lot. But the big thing is, all of them are alive, and Anaconda's actually going to find a block kill. That's from down below. The Jaeger on the roam, gone. Anaconda himself very low on HP, but he won't really care too much as the Ash is going to find another one. Seth, you don't contest him there, but no! He looked away at the wrong time, and the Wamai is going to take that kill. He actually won't take two. Anaconda takes one instead. That's AXH with a kill, and now Ali G will come in to save the day for the downed operator. Barefoot right there, as Keeves from down below has taken another kill, but he's now the last man standing. Red Pink's coming out. C4 could come in. He does still have it. Will he see the downed op? He does, but unfortunately, he did not see Ali G. Still there on main stairs. Akis will go down, and once again, ladies and gentlemen, it's been another round taken by Red Vipers, as we will see in the instant replay. D3 Space, not looking so hot today, not at all. Coming in from the qualifiers, they had some pretty good games, but now, not a good first week, at least so far. They are now on the attack. Red Vipers are now on defense. We're headed to second floor Aviator Games Room, as it is a 5-1 with Red Vipers one round away from match point.
Red Vipers one round away indeed from match point. They're looking very strong. Let's be honest, you're not mincing my words either. Electric really popping off today. 9 frags for the man. Just a very electric performance from him, I guess, today. But there's more to come. The match is not over yet. This is, of course, only the first half, but the first half has been very dominating for RV. Let's be honest here. No compromise on my words over there as well. They definitely have come out to be the stronger team in the first half, but it was attack as well. So I cannot really blame them too much. D3 Team Space, they definitely should have done a little bit more than you would expect them to. Being on the side of the defense, not that I think about it. All right. Actually, you know what? I'm going to completely move on from my dad joke that I was about to make. Just keep the mood in point. And actually, you know what? Blackjack. Do you know why there were no attackers dying when we saw the side of D3 Team Space take up the side?
Why would that be?
Because it was the living room. It's because they were in the living room, Blackjack. It's the living room.
I probably should have seen that coming, but living room just kind of flew straight over my head. That round wasn't exactly the most memorable, if you will.
It was quite the round, now that I think about it. The living room round definitely got me thinking that, hey, D3 team space, they are quite literally dying in terms of the round count. Why would they happen to go back to living room? That is such a shaky position to play on. Not the best of odds in your favor. But then it struck me, hey, they've gone there because it's the living room, right? No. We will not be making that joke ever again. We'll be looking to see what pushes are coming in from the side of the attackers. That's, of course, the side of the Ash right now. It was the side of Landic still holding this pretty strong enough. Ali G looking at a little bit of an angle that he's got for himself from 90. This is a very powerful angle that he has for himself. Let's be honest here. That wooden pane will be taken off the moment he happens to see some movement over there. But so far, nothing. Electric looking at this corner that he's got for himself. Set on the roam as well. All right. Looks like RV is in a full blown out mode. They are looking for fights very aggressively. Everybody out here from the side of RV is definitely looking to pick up a fight and win some. Very bloodlust at the side of the defense. It is definitely not slowing down. You still got some of these stronghold operators back on the side. Some of these operators that you can really rely on when it comes back to just fortifying the entirety of the side, and that is of course the mute that will be playing inside the wall. Breach is happening onto the 90 window. You've still got them to make the push. The single wall will not be broken, but guess what? The headshot comes in from Seth. That will be the first connect. The Valkyrie. The MPX comes alive. First kill will come in. You've got Roofy taking the fall, and that was your Ash, people. That means your Henry Fragger is no more. And your Twitch will make sure she gets that revenge shot and the revenge kill. Afik will be making sure he gets that kill quickly enough onto his fellow enemy. That was, of course, the Valkyrie coming around the corner, but that's more than enough time wasted. Where is the bloodbath? Where's the feeding frenzy that is coming in from the side of RV? Or maybe from the side of D3 team space. But just from the looks of it, a 4 vs 4 could go anywhere. We don't know who's going to be taking this round, but just from the looks of it, I can assure you that these 30 seconds, or the 20 seconds rather, will define exactly what happens. The push-up is in, Kakashi gets one, that's Barefoot taken off the board, and that means Mainstay has got to be taken care of. And here comes the man who won't be able to survive that. For a very miscalculated play over there from Kakashi will still be shutting him down. Anaconda has got to play the shotgun in hand. The plan is going down. Afik is the one who's going for it. On the other side, all down to Anaconda, who won't survive it either. Abu comes around the corner to Zofia. Does the job. D3 team space coming in strong and coming in hard towards the end. It really won't come down to what RB happened to bring up in the beginning. Even if they've got the diffuser down, D3 team space made sure that they made their way on the side and they shut the side of the defense down. Quite the performance coming in from them will be giving themselves another chance and a breather. It will be a 5-2 as we happen to proceed to round 8.
I have to say, all things considered, from the side of Red Vipers, I wasn't expecting them to, have such a unfortunate first defensive round, especially given the way that they played that. Some of the peaks that they made, for instance, Ali G onto the main stairs, an aggressive peak, just like Foxy said, heavily miscalculated in that situation. And more than that, completely unnecessary. They needed to hold inside of sight, and they needed to stay back, not force themselves into positions that would lead to their deaths. Unfortunately, they didn't do that. D3 Space, they were merely playing the standard attacking game when it comes to Villa, doing the roam clear, doing the first bits and whatnot. They were about to get into the utility clearance part of it when suddenly you had Red Vipers jumping all over the place trying to get a kill, trying to make use of that aggression that they're kind of known for. But the issue is the selection of gunfights that they went for were almost all in their disadvantage. Now, one that, again, I'm going to be talking about just right now, actually, is Ali G's peak on the main stairs. Sure, the Warden is, the Ace is on the lower ground, right? He's halfway down the main stairs. You definitely have that high ground advantage. The issue is the Ace was hidden away from line of sight. Plenty of bullets in that pre-fire went into the wall, and by the time Ali G actually got out to peeking him, unfortunately, it just so happened that there was a Zofia concussive nade flying in his face, which that disorientation didn't help him get that kill that he needed to. But again, it merely reinforces the fact that peak did not need to happen then and there. Or for instance, the mute holding inside of that ceremonial hall door. Again, I was about to make that same mistake. Ceremonial hall door inside a games room. That was another peak that he should have just held with the shotgun. The rotation is close enough for the shotgun's range for that to be very effective. And again, Red Vipers is making those decisions one by one that did not help them get those kills. D3 space, they merely played it. They merely played it safe. The stuff that they already know, the standard stuff, and Red Vipers, unfortunately, fell prey to themselves getting a bit too far ahead. Right now, of course, we're going to see 5-2, still a fairly big advantage for the side of RBC. As some shots are going to be fired, there's Rufy from down below trying to use those vertical lines of sight against the defenders themselves. But no, Abuakal's going to be the first to go down. Ali G senses and sees the push coming in, takes the first kill. That's your Zofia off the board as the goo mines are going to go off on the main stairs. Akif has got to be so careful there. And the Legion, again, not the best peak in the world, as he will get taken down by Rufy coming in from behind the Twitch for support. Flashbangs coming out, that's a self-team flash, but it doesn't really matter too much. Both of them are still alive there. They have to deal with Anaconda though, as Electric's gonna come and find a Keeps action. That's the Twitch taken care of. And the Moon's trying to do something with a shotgun. He's gonna get one, can he get two? Goes out, finds the Ash. That's the double for Anaconda. That's what he needed. Electric gets Kakashi. And there we go. Red Vipers will take round 8. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the polar opposite play to the one that we saw from the previous round. That is how Red Vipers should have been playing the previous round to begin with. Take that first kill, hold back until the situation is just right, until the flankers come in and the shotgun can really go to town. That is the Red Vipers that we've come to expect from watching them in the Pro League. And now, as the instant replay comes to an end, 6-2 is the scoreline. Match point has been taken, and we are headed to Trophy Statuary for potentially D3 to make a comeback. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but I'm not really feeling it from D3. I've got to say, I'm sorry to all the D3 fans in chat, but I'm not really feeling a D3 comeback tonight. Foxy, what about you?
I mean, we've one thing's for sure, that one thing we can state right off the bat is we've seen quite many upsets come out when it comes to matches like these. We know exactly that, hey, it is most definitely a possibility. You can get those 4 rounds back to back done into the pocket, but I think with that kind of experience, we do come down to judging exactly how this might go as well. D3 not being able to show the best of their performance today, I might say. It is, of course, the first time I'm getting to see and cast them in person. That is, of course, not come around to play this roster, see them play. It most definitely has my attention. I'll be looking into what more these players exhibit apart from just what I got to see from them. It is most definitely an interesting team that I want to take some insights from. I want to learn a little bit more about, because they've come out as a surprise. They've got my attention, but they've not been able to get the victories. That's it. That's exactly that little bridge will get closed, hopefully, as they happen to accustom to the heat of Division 3 into the season. That's for sure. But I wouldn't get too comfortable with it. You are, of course, against one of the best of Division 3. Mind you, this is, of course, Red Vipers, the team that has back-to-back been the champions of Division 3 quite a bit, quite many times, in fact. Now that you think about it, they've, like I said in the beginning of the match, Red Vipers essentially made Div 3 their home. Now that you think about it, with both the leagues put into the account. Electric, where did that come from? What an Electric start. He gets 1, he gets 2. Electric? What? Where did he pick them up from? That's 2 kills taken. Zero and Zofia, both of them, good night. I'm not sure. We got that, and the third one follows up. Electric! He's definitely come out to the better of place today. Kakashi goes down. Mugiwara and R6S, the only ones left alive. Another one closing in on him. The quad comes around. Yes, it will. The Ash goes down. The quad is here. He's up for the ace, lining himself up for it. The carbon in hand. This is more definitely doable. R6S just completely scramble, and the ace follows, people. Electric finishes it off in style. Red Vipers take this for themselves, and that will be, in fact, the shot that we were all expecting. Not the best of, not the cleanest of shots, but something that he'll be taking home for himself. Very electrifying plays from this man. Definitely happened to send out the shock through the screen for me. What a show from Red Vipers.
An amazing, amazing show from the side of Red Vipers. Look at that man right there. Electric 16-1-3. Primarily thanks to that ace right towards the end. And oh boy, that was a very, very good play from him. And a very good play from Red Vipers all in all today. Unfortunately, not so much for the side of D3 Space. We were kind of joking that, on one side you've got D3 Team Sky, on the other side you've got D3 Space. Missed opportunity to put a team in there to make the natural escalation from round one roster to the other. But yeah, at the end of the day, naming conventions aside, ladies and gentlemen, D3 Space, not a good showing for them when it comes to their first week in the season. They kind of lost their game yesterday against Throw Syndicate 7-1. And today they lose 7-2 against Red Vipers. But of course, we'll be talking more about that in Real of the Moment, going live on your screens right now, actually. And all in all, it's mostly, of course, going to be a Red Vipers highlights reel. I think none of us can really say much more than that. But at the end of the day, the main point that we're trying to get across here is that we didn't see much from D3 Space, right? There were glimpses of potential, some rounds where they probably could have taken it if they played it just a little bit better, maybe if they held back, selected their gunfights a little bit better, or positioned themselves a little bit better. That could have been something to help them take those rounds back to back. But unfortunately, it wasn't, and they kept getting taken out. They kept finding themselves, trying to be aggressive against RVZ, and they kept, being found out instead. Red Vipers, once they saw what they were doing on Trophy Statuary and consequently on Aviator, it was practically all over in the first half for D3 Space. They didn't do much else different from their initial defense, mostly relying on the standard tactics, the basics, if you will, to get them through. They were definitely winning some important gunfights here and there, but it just wasn't enough. And really, that showed very heavily for them in this match. And hopefully, going forward from here, they can make amends. They can be a little better when it comes to their coordination, when it comes to their gunfight selection. But there's a lot that needs to be worked on. Make no mistake, we tried to excuse me right there. We try to, sweeten our words a little bit when we're talking negatively about a team here at the Esports Club, primarily just to make sure that if they're watching the VOD later on, they don't feel too bad. But at the same time, in some instances, we can't really do much other than say it like it is. Like Foxy said, we can't do much other than say it like it is, which is that D3 just did not show us what we were kind of expecting from them at the end of the day, and that's kind of sad to see. We had some expectations because of the qualifiers, of course. They showed us they had a fairly good showing, a fairly good outing in the qualifiers. After all, they are here in the division stages, right? But at the end of the day, when it counts, when it really counts in divisions, that's when you have to make it work. Unfortunately, D3 for week one just haven't done that. Red Vipers, on the other hand, though, they're looking nice and sweet, having won tonight's game. They'll be going into week two fairly okay with their position for the time being. But of course, they need to do a little bit better. Again, they find themselves down here in Div 3 after soaring high in the middle, especially in Season 3. They were pretty strong back then, but they've been kind of on a downward trend since. Now down in Div 3, they're just, here trying to make a good impression before, of course, we leave them for the end of the league. And, again, just reinforcing on us here at the Esports Club as well, that the league, as we know it, as we've known it for the last 10, 11 months, is about to come to an end. Bit of a sad realization, as it were. But, all good things come to an end. Just like Relive the Moment just came to an end. But that is going to be it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. That has been it for myself, Blackjack, my co-host, Foxtrot, and, of course, our match admin, Eisen, as we'll be coming back tomorrow with more Rainbow Six action. More importantly, it's Division 2, ladies and gentlemen. The 2 days of the Bloodbath Division, coming to you live tomorrow from 6 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Until then, stay tuned and good night.